it's Jonna, and I get a ton of requests to talk more about my emetophobia and my experience with it, and I thought a great way to just cover all the bases would be to do a Q&A. So I asked you guys on Instagram for some questions, and I'm just gonna go through them and answer off the top of my head, so hopefully these make sense. First of all, I got a few people asking what emetophobia means, and I'm going to explain it now. There may be triggering language in this if you deal with emetophobia, so skip to the timestamp that I'm putting somewhere on this screen. Basically, emetophobia is a fear of all things related to throwing up. Like, even just saying that phrase can kind of be uncomfortable. It can manifest in many ways, but the important thing is that it's not just like a dislike of getting sick, because nobody likes it, let's be honest here. But it's a phobia that affects your everyday life in many, many ways. It's different for every person. How long have you had it? I developed emetophobia in 2012, like officially. Like now that I look back, there are signs of it like throughout my entire life. But that was when I was officially diagnosed and when it really, really started affecting my daily life heavily. How does it affect your daily life? I would say that right now it's affecting my life the least that it has since 2012. Especially with the global pandemic, that is what is consuming my thoughts, and that is what my anxiety is focusing on. My emetophobia has kind of taken a back seat, and I think part of that is because I'm so far into my journey with it, and I've worked so hard on it that it was already kind of lessening, but then the pandemic hit and that became the focus. But that's not to say that I don't still struggle with it and don't still have days where I worry that I feel nauseous, or what if I have food poisoning, that kind of thing. So right now it's not affecting me as much as it did, but in the past, oh, it affected me so heavily. Going to school became really, really hard. I missed like over 50 days junior year, I think. It was a lot of days, but also like left early a lot of days. I had to get a special hall pass that would allow me to go to the counselor because I was having panic attacks so frequently. Oh my gosh, that was a terrible time. I lost a ton of friends because like they didn't really understand what was going on, and I didn't want to hang out with people because I didn't know if I would have a panic attack, and I was like constantly having panic attacks and constantly feeling nauseous because it was a cycle. Like I would worry about getting sick, and then I'd make myself feel nauseous, and then I'd think I was sick, and then just would go in circles over and over and over. And I'm so glad that I'm out of that now. How did you overcome your fear? Now, I don't think I've overcome it. I don't think I'd say that. I just think it's become more manageable. Therapy is the #1 thing that helped me out. I'm so fortunate to be able to go to therapy. Even now I'm continuing it virtually, which is just, I'm lucky to have that option. I'm lucky to have a great therapist. It took me a while to find one that was right for me. Journaling also really helps, and like challenging it. Like I had to put in hard work and really think about the root of the anxiety that I was having. Like a lot of it boils down to loss of control. When you get sick, you kind of lose a form of control, and that's kind of what it boiled down to, so I focused a lot on that. But honestly, the #1 thing is definitely therapy. Is there a way to get rid of it without therapy? Like I said, journaling really helps. Just going deep into your thoughts and really like sitting with it and being uncomfortable with it. That uncomfortableness will lead to discoveries and breakthroughs, and it will only help you move forward. Also, leaning on good friends and good family. That can help, just talking about it openly and honestly and having someone to listen. How do you know if you're panicking or about to be sick? This took me forever to decipher between the two. Honestly, years and years. I think you just have to really be in tune with your body and its signals. More times than not, it's panic and anxiety. Getting sick is your body's last resort, and it rarely goes there. So chances are, if you are feeling nauseous and you're really, really worried that you're going to get sick, it's your anxiety making you feel that way. Find a distraction, something like a TV show that you love or a book that you love. Color, journal, and see if that feeling goes away as you distract yourself. Definitely find a coping technique that works for you. Is it normal to get grossed out by other stuff similar to the like spitting, burping, etc.? I'm so glad you asked, because I don't think I've ever talked about this on my channel, but burping really bothers me as an emetophobe. That's something that just like, oh, I don't know, it like the sound and stuff reminds me of, you know, like what we're afraid of. So yeah, that really bothers me. Spitting doesn't bother me personally, but I can see how that would be something that could bother someone else. So yes, it's normal. It's definitely normal. Like I said, emetophobia is different for everyone and it shows up in all sorts of different ways. What to do if you're in class and there's a trigger and you cannot be in there anymore? I would say ahead of time. Let your teachers know, or let your counselor know so she can let your teachers know that you have emetophobia. That way if it happens, they'll understand if you need to leave. Because that would just be a really, really unfortunate and uncomfortable situation, and I would hate for you to have to go through that. So I think just talking about it ahead of time in case would be smart. Are you still updating your movie warning website, and how can we submit warnings? Yes, I am. I still update it. The problem is it's basically just me. And I only watch like a certain genre of movies. So, you know, Disney movies are on there, rom-coms are on there, musicals are on there, but I'm lacking heavily in like thriller, horror, action. I mean, I have a couple action. So I would love for people to submit movies that I can add to it that are like a broader range. I will link to the site below. Just go to the contact submit page and use the form to submit a movie warning. I will also link to my video all about the website, which explains it more in depth. How do you watch new content without getting anxious? This is a great question. I rely heavily on the Emetophobia Warnings and Experiences Tumblr blog, which I will link below, which kind of inspired my own website where I post movie warnings. It's really helpful to just know if something is safe from triggers or if it's gonna have something. That way I can just be prepared and it doesn't catch me off guard, because the surprise element makes me uncomfortable. But as my emetophobia has improved, my experience with this has also improved, and if something happens, I don't get as upset and panicked as I used to, unless it's super graphic, in which case I will be very panicked. And really, to be honest, there's no need for this in movies and TV shows. I don't know why people put it in, like especially for comedy. What's funny? There's nothing funny about it. No one wants to see this. What if, like, I don't know. I hope that these answers helped somebody out there that is watching this video. If there are more things you'd like me to talk about in regards to emetophobia, leave it in the comments and I'll be checking those out and writing down ideas. And I love you all. Stay beautiful, you people. Bye!